Again, what we're doing here is I'm letting him know that I'm in control again, not by just talking to him, but it's by touching him. I don't know if you saw that when I first grabbed it, though, I actually threw my knee up, okay, and I touched him. I let him know, hey, you're with me, all right? I'm going to just walk him over here on my left side. The moment that he's about to cross my threshold is when I let him know he's gone too far. I'm not physically holding him back, he's psychologically holding himself back, and that's what we want. So again, I'm going to start walking. He's walking with me. At this point, I touch him and I let him know at that point, hey bud, far enough. I don't want you to go any further. Again, we start walking. He's walking with me. I don't care what he's doing right there. Boom, touch. Again, okay? That physical touch, how he's not looking up at me is what I would want him to start doing. Oh, thanks, handsome. And I'm not talking about like walking, looking up at me. I'm talking about when I actually touch him, for him to be like, what, right? He'll soon start doing that. He's kind of, a little bit. But what I'm doing again is just if I pull on him back, he's going to pull that way. So what I'm doing is kind of knocking him off balance, which gets his attention. And that's all I'm trying to do is get his attention. Once I have his attention, I say, hey bud, far enough. I also don't let him know when he's too far. I let him know when he's far enough. It's not a correction, it's just communication, okay? So we start walking again. Right here, boom, touch again. Touch again, because he started to kind of like move forward, Good boy. So he's kind of, well, where do you want me? And that's him using his brain. We're not in an obedience ring. Yeah, we could put him at a sit right now every time we stop. That's up to you. Those are the fine-tuning rules that you can make. My dogs, I just want them hanging out with me when I stop. When I start, they can start. When I stop, they can stop. Okay? That's how you walk your dog. And you start that off when you put the leash on in your house. You open up the front door. What you're not doing is, because you'll hear Caesar say, be the first one out the door.
Yeah.
Right? Well, a lot of people will be holding their dog back so they can get their toe out the door first, right? I don't know if you do it. I've seen clients do it. What you need to do is open the door and have a loose leash like that before you move forward. Oh, hey, handsome. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. and that breathing already, though. I mean, he was panting for a second there. He wasn't panting all over there at all. We haven't. Here we go. Get a good yawn going. I thought he might go into a little bit of a pant. Thing is he's using his mind right now. So you see what happened right there?
Yeah.
I touched him and he tried to veer over. So what I did was I touched him again. Nope, back this way. Move that way. Thanks, that's what I need. Okay, all loose leash. If I'm going to communicate with him, it's going to be through my energy and my body language. I'll use the halt T still to assist me so I can teach him my body language, my energy, my touch, what I want from him. So if you're having an issue with him, let's drop that, buddy. Drop. Good. If you're having no. See how he looked up? I was looking down, I gave a little bit of, okay? When he looks up at me, I'm ready to look back at him. And I let him know, hey, that stuff's mine. Don't touch it. I'm not going to take it away from him either. And I'll let him know, don't touch it. Okay? I'm not going to manage it. I'm going to teach him the lesson. So him breathing, though, right now is a great thing because that's energy being burned. That's him using his brain as opposed to just being on an auto cruise control type of, dog. It's a dog going, well, what are the rules today? See how he started looking towards it again? That moment, I'm going to give him that verbal, physical, psychological intimidation with the moving towards the physical. I gave him the verbal, I started moving towards him with physical, he looked at me. I now have his attention. I didn't need to physically touch him because I had his attention. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, good. Sometimes I didn't want him over there. So again, touched him, he went in position, good. Sometimes I don't even know where I was on that one. Do you remember what I was saying?
You didn't need to give him the verbal?
I don't know.
I can rewind.
No, it's all good. No, that's the whole thing. This just goes off on tangents and stuff. So there's never any cookie cutter or anything.
Yeah, no, I know.
But this is what we want. We want him to be using his mind, psychologically be burning, as opposed to always just, hey, this is the way the world works. It's kind of like, well, what are we doing today?
This is his creeping mode. He's going to try to get that.
That's fine. Don't touch it. Thank you. Verbal. I don't have to physically touch. Oh, that was it. I was verbally going into him, and that was it. Is if I'm going into step 2, but now I get his attention because step 1, the verbal, and I'm going into step 2 to touch him but he looks up at me. I don't need to touch anymore. I have his attention. Now I go to step 3. So you skip step 2. So you don't always go to step 2. Sometimes you're on step 2 for a few steps. Sometimes you don't even hit step 2. The whole point is never to get to, so you don't have to get to step 2 anymore. With my dogs, I snap my fingers, they look at me, I give them a little bit of the mom eyes, and they're like, cool. Because they know what's coming if they don't. All right?
Walk them some more. This is what I really need to learn.
You need to learn it all.
Well, I know, but
because that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the walk is huge. The walk is huge, but ultimately you need to learn the correction. Because this correction, good boy. This correction, me telling him far enough, is the same thing as if he got into a trash can. Is the same thing as if he was trying to run after that person right there. Is the same thing if he was trying to attack a dog. A correction is a correction across the board. Verbal, physical, lead into a submissive state, reinforce with the mom eyes, and then release all pressure to see what the dog's going to do then. So when I'm walking, when I'm teaching him, hey, I want you right here, it's verbal, physical, reinforce, release.